Longhorn Extra is the place to get your daily dose of Texas sports.
Junior wide receiver Marquise Goodwin has decided to return to the football team
with the latest scores, highlights, and analysis, plus first-hand interviews with UT coaches and players.
There's a lot of pre-snap movement from your defense. What is going on here, Coach?
Breaking news, we got it. Injury updates, we got it. Players to watch, we got it. Longhorn Extra, weekdays at 10 p.m. exclusively on Longhorn Network.
Blank wall over there. Kids are they're almost born natural scientists. They're curious about everything.
So the way this telescope works, it reflects up to another little mirror that's up at the top of the tube that aims down.
I obviously get very enthusiastic about what I'm talking about. I love talking about space, and I think that probably excites in the kids a little bit.
If you look real carefully, do you notice something on it? Sunspots that are cooler spots on the sun. Very good.
The program's called Astronomy Outreach, and it motivates young students statewide, fitting that it's geared towards children because its leader is still a kid at heart.
Yeah, I never really grew up. I tend to go out of control when I decide to start collecting something. The stuff that you mostly see in here are Pez dispensers. I've actually become a little bit famous in the department. When I was 5, when the original Star Wars came out and my mom took me to see it, it just blew me away, and I've been a huge Star Wars fan ever since.
Laura's been at UT for 21 years, but now, as a laboratory supervisor, she gets to share her passion with the astronomers of tomorrow.
It's the hottest planet in the solar system. That thick atmosphere traps in all of this heat.
Anytime I see a kid who's just like a sponge, they just absorb everything, I think that's great. It gives me hope for the future.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Longhorn Extra. Laura Galindo now joined by Emmanuel Acho, who leads the Horns and tackles for loss this season. Earlier this week, Emmanuel, you were named to the All-State Good Works team, basically to honor your commitment to community service. When you think about that award, how do you think you've made impact to other people's lives?
Well, first and foremost, I think that's the reason I'm on this earth. You know what I mean? You have to always remember why you're here and what you do and why you do what you do. And I feel like I just try to be a positive influence, you know, on whoever I come in touch with, whoever I touch base with. And that's really my goal, whether it's on the field, whether it's off the field, just positively influencing somebody else.
And the great stories that we should be paying attention to at a time like this. But you know the headlines all week long, the future of the Big 12. We find out that the Big 12 is going to stay together. As a guy that had a brother as well, growing up in the state of Texas, playing high school football in the state, what does it mean to just football in general in this state that the Big 12 and those Texas schools are staying together?
I think it's awesome. I think Coach Brown made a great point earlier in the week in that, you know, parents shouldn't have to travel, you know, miles and hundreds of miles just to watch their kids play, or fly hundreds of miles to watch their kids play, but just be able to drive, you know, maybe an hour or two down the road to be able to watch their kids who they've watched all their lives. And so I think the history behind it is great, and I think some rivalries in it are great. And so I think it's great for the high school kids, it's great for the future of the program, and it's just great for college football.
Well, you're one of the leaders of this defense, so we got to talk about what's going on between the lines right now with this Texas defense. How in the world are you guys ranked 12th nationally in total defense, yet in the bottom 20 nationally in sacks and tackles for loss?
I think, you know, when it rains, it pours, and when there's a drought, there's a drought. And right now we're in a drought, you know, clearly in the sack column. And I think that I've done a good job, and my teammates have done a great job of just making sure we keep our heads up, especially the front guys, the front four, you know, the guys up front. They got the hard job. They got to fight in the trenches all day long. Keith Alex Okafor, Jeff Coate, you know, Ashton Dorsey, et cetera. Me and Keenan and the defensive backs, we just kind of got to sit back and look pretty. And so they're going to keep fighting, and eventually it's going to come.
Well, you guys are getting the turnover, especially in the way of interceptions. I know throughout camp, your defense was ahead of the offense throughout the preseason. You guys really tried to come together as one. Saw a lot of that against UCLA. What does it do for the overall team unity when you have a defense getting those 3 interceptions in the first quarter, and then the offense coming back, and every one of those picks, they cash into scores?
We know that, you know, Coach always harped on turnovers. That's how you win games, and that's how you lose games. Last year, we were in the bottom, you know, 10 and nationally in turnover margin, and now we're in the top 20. And so we know that's how you win games. We know that's what it takes, and we just got to keep trying to get the ball up.
Now, you're a very talented man. I mean, you look at the Good Works team, you don't make something like that if you don't have some talent and some good heart to go along with that. You also, I understand, have a pretty good ear for music, especially when it comes to the piano, but a non-traditional background when it comes to the instrument. Tell me about that.
So I played a little bit when I was younger, but never really had a passion for it. And during camp, during two-a-days, you have too much time to just sit around, but you don't have enough time to take a nap or to go to sleep. And so when I was in the dorm, my freshman and sophomore year, I would just sit in the dorm, and during the free time, I'd go to the piano lounge and play my favorite song, listen to it, and just either try to put it together by ear or put it together by YouTube. And that's what I would do.
So you have a pretty good ear. If you hear a song, you're going to know what it is, right?
I could try. That's my best.
Okay.
My best stat.
Well, that's the attitude we're looking for, because it's time for a new game we have here on Longhorn Extra.
Name that song.
Oh, welcome to our newest game here on Longhorn Extra. It is called Name That Song. Yes, our producers are super creative. But here's how it's going to work, all right? Courtney, who's actually an associate director here on Longhorn Extra,
yeah, Courtney,
is going to go ahead and play the piano. She's going to play 5 songs. Lowell and Emmanuel are going to raise their Longhorn paddle. The first one to raise their paddle, they're going to get the first guess. Now, if they're wrong, the other one can steal it. What's at stake here? Pride. A lot of pride is at stake. Now, if Lowell wins, he is going to choose a shirt for Emmanuel to wear. Maybe a blouse, a shirt of his choosing. It's going to be embarrassing. But if Emmanuel wins, and that probably is going to happen because he has played the piano before, if he wins, well, then Lowell is going to have to wear a tie of Emmanuel's choosing.
A bow tie, preferably.
Let's get this thing started. Guys, you ready?
Let's do it.
Courtney, hit it. Lowell.
That would be Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
That is correct. So Lowell gets that. Yes. It is 1-0
yes.
Lowell.
Why don't you raise the paddle, Emmanuel?
I didn't hear the first note. I missed it. Battery on the right.
Lowell was quick on that. That's all right. So after one song, Lowell leads 1-0. You guys ready for song number 2?
I am. Let's see if it is.
Courtney, go.
I don't know the song.
Lowell.
The Hokey Pokey.
Oh, that is correct.
We're cheating.
Emmanuel, you got off to such a hot start against UCLA. Lowell's now up 2-0.
Oh, give me something here.
You really need to come back here, okay? Song number 3. You guys ready?
With ruffles.
Lowell has a 2-0 lead.
Yes.
Courtney, go.
I'm just raising it.
Emmanuel.
What is that?
That would be...
See, you just raised the paddle.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
You cut her off, though, and she was about to finish that last note.
Emmanuel, do you have an answer?
It was the Eyes of Texas.
It was Texas Fight.
The Eyes of Texas Fight.
There you go. There you go. We got a winner. 2-1. Hey, you got to let him finish her, Lowell. So Lowell has 2. Emmanuel has 1. Song number 4. Emmanuel, you got to tie this thing up. You ready? Courtney, go. Emmanuel.
I want to say When the Saints Go Marching In.
Uh-oh. We've got a tie ball game, folks. That's exactly the way we wanted it.
We didn't Game 5.
We didn't know if it would come down to Game 5, but it's coming down to Game 5. Lowell gets the first 2. Emmanuel comes back, gets the next 2.
Go.
Yeah. Song number 5. Pride at stake. Courtney. Lowell.
Don't go blank.
Nah. Oh, man. How did I forget the name of the song? Yankee Doodle.
Yes. Lowell has it.
Something with sequins.
We
have pink. It's going to have a lot of ruffles. It's going to be nuts.
We have a winner. Emmanuel, are you ready to maybe wear a blouse on the 40 acres? And Lowell just gets Alex, our great intern.
Take some of that.
Sprinkling Lowell with some confetti.
How's that feel?
Great job.
I'm like Vince Young in the 05 championship. You're USC. Just watching
Lowell
me.
is the winner. Emmanuel played very well, though.
I did my best.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a little bit with Longhorn Extra.